see some brand new faces to me. So welcome. I see my sisters and my brothers. So grateful, so thankful that you're here today. So today we're talking about connecting and exploring the Tree of Life. And this is a new series. And it's a series because the Tree of Life is it can get complex, but we're going to make it as simplistic as possible. So I found that as I was going through and I was asking the Creator to work with me and to help me to present this in the most simplistic way, in the most understanding way, to help us grow, to help us learn, and help us open. Because that's really where we're at, is opening our consciousness and remembering that we came from the Creator. Remembering that we too create with the Creator. So the Tree of Life is in just every single philosophy, belief system. It all talks about this particular tree. So when we look at the Tree of Life, and I'm going to walk around a little bit today because I don't like to be just standing up here while I'm flipping through the slides, but the Tree of Life is a universal symbol. It's found in many spiritual and mythological traditions around the world. In various cultures, it is known as the cosmic tree. I love that word, cosmic, because it reminds us that we're really very small. We're really very small. But I loved it when the Dalai Lama said, you think you don't make a difference? You think you're too small to make a difference? Try sleeping with a mosquito. And I thought, yeah, I've done that before. It's not so easy to sleep. So I love the word cosmic because it helps us to remember that we're part of a whole. We're all connected. We're connected to each other. We're connected to all of the beings that are on this planet. We're connected to the earth. The earth is made out of what? It's made out of all the stardust. And we're made out of the earth, right? So we're connected to everything. So when I think of cosmic, I think, wow, we're a part of something so big. And the Creator created us for something so wonderful. I love that song that Andrew played, Do Something. Because so many times we sit and we think, but I'm just one person. I'm just one person, I don't make a difference. You make a difference in every second of every moment of every day. Every second, every moment of every day. You matter. Your energy matters. Your thoughts matter. Your feelings matter. You're a beautiful and amazing being. God made you for something so great. And now we just have to remember what that is. We have to open up our consciousness. We have to sometimes let go of certain things. Letting go of things like if we sit and watch 4 hours of TV every night. What else could we do in that 4 hours that could help us to open, to help us become more? How many of you just know how it feels when you volunteer and you help someone? You felt it. You helped a friend, you felt so good. You fed the homeless, you felt so good. You worked at a soup kitchen, you felt so good. You volunteered at Meals on Wheels, you felt so good. You volunteered at Must Ministries, you felt so good. Because that's where we are today. We're all connected. We're meant to spur each other on. We're meant to guide each other and help each other. And the Tree of Life, it symbolizes all of these things. Wisdom, as above, so below. Heaven, earth, or the afterworld. It's all connected in the Tree of Life. So when we look at the Tree of Life, I like to look at some of the holy books. And one of the books that I'm going to look at today is the Holy Bible. And the Bible in Genesis actually talks about the Tree of Life. Chapter 2, verse 9. So it's very early in the Bible, and it says what? It says, and out of the ground the Lord God made to spring up every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life was in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So, and it's mentioned multiple times throughout the Bible. The Kabbalah is completely designed around the tree of life. The Sumerians talk about the tree of life. The Egyptians talk about the tree of life. The Mayans talk about the tree of life. So if this tree symbolizes something, what can it symbolize? And how can we really grab a hold of it if we don't explore what trees are to us on this planet here and what they do? In Genesis, it goes on to say that the Lord said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us." And I like to point that out. Behold, the man has become like one of us. Plural. I also like to point out, the man has become like one of us. Because also, talks about the kingdom of God being where? Within us. It also talks about our thoughts. And even if we have thought it, we have done it. So it shows the magnificent amount of power that we have within ourselves. And here it shows one of us in knowing good and evil. Now, least he reach out his hand and take also the tree of life and eat and live forever. Now, we do know that there is something separate from our physical body, and we do know that this energy goes somewhere. And so when we talk about the tree of life, and the tree of life connecting all things, and as above, so below, and it connecting the heavens and the earth and the afterworld, it also connects all of the wisdom. So where is this tree of life? Where is it? What does it symbolize? Have you asked yourself that? Have you pondered that question? I will tell you, you ask and you shall.
Receive.
Knock and the door shall be.
Open.
Seek and you shall. You must first question. You're not questioning, you're not seeking, you can't find it, can you? So it's right there. And the Quran talks about it as well. The Quran says, if we seek, if we ask, then we receive. So when we're looking at the tree of life and we're looking at, hey, wait a minute, all of these different belief systems are all saying the tree of life. I believe in my heart of hearts that we're all saying the same thing. We're using different words to say it. That when we became disconnected, this is where the tree of life became kind of out of our reach a little bit. Because we disconnected ourselves. We disconnected ourselves from source. We became separate. We looked at ourselves as separate. Even though the kingdom of God lies where? We are a part of God and God is a part of us. We separated ourselves. We also separated ourselves from each other, didn't we? You're my sister. But oh, wait a minute, you're from a different culture. Oh, wait a minute, now you believe differently than I do. Now I'm really separate from you. It created division. Where two or more are gathered, there I am. Dr. Bruce Limpton took two pebbles, and he said if you drop them at the exact same time, from the exact same height, that they will make a ripple. And when those ripples connect, the ripple will become stronger and bigger. But if you drop them at separate, just a millisecond separate, that when the waves meet, that they'll cancel each other out because they're vibrating differently. When we disconnected ourselves from each other, and we disconnected from source, this tree of life that's there for us, it's there. Now, the reason why this is a series is because it gets really in depth. So today, we're really going to focus on why do all of these different belief systems talk about the tree of life, and what do trees symbolize for us on this planet? Why is it important for us to be connected to a tree or connected to earth? So in Revelation, it goes on to say, then the angel showed me the river of the water of life. Water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb, down the middle of the great street of the city. On each side of the river stood
The tree of life.
the tree of life. You want to know how many times it's in the Bible? Google. Say, tree of life, Bible verses. Go to the Kabbalah. Say, tree of life. The Buddhists talk about the tree of life. Start searching and seeking and asking. And it's through your asking that you'll receive the answers. It's a beautiful process. So what is a tree? And what does it mean to us? Well, first of all, we know one thing. And that is, beyond a shadow of a doubt, we breathe in what? And we exhale what? And trees breathe out what? And inhale what?
Amen to that.
That's the other side of our lung. This is the other side of our lung. We have two lungs. One is inside of us. Actually, we have two inside of us. But metaphorically speaking, and one is outside of us. And that is the tree. So I want you, as you watch this video, to really open your consciousness a little bit. Because it's going to talk more about what a tree is and how a tree works.
My research does show that they're communicating. Yes, it's a method of communication. These plants are really not individuals in the sense that Darwin thought they were individuals competing for survival of the fittest. In fact, they're interacting with each other, trying to help each other survive. Well, I'm a forester, specialized into looking at below-ground communities. We found that these fungi actually will connect one plant to another plant. Okay, so this tree here has got roots growing out everywhere, and as we get further away from the tree, we're more likely to find its roots, the ones that are involved in this tree. This is where the fungi hunt or scavenge for nutrients. So the tree sends down its carbon, it goes through the root system and through into these fungi, and there's an interface between the root cortical cells and the fungal cell that's wrapped itself around that cortical cell, and that's where this exchange goes on. So meters away, you have one plant connected to another plant, and they're just shuffling carbon and nitrogen back and forth according to who needs it. The mother trees we think of as the big old trees. They catch your eye when you walk into a forest. This Douglas fir is about 500 years old. It's a massive tree that will have an enormous network associated with it. So you can think of this as a mother tree. You know, it's in the sense that it's a dominant tree in the forest. It's probably networked into all of the trees all around it, even though there are different species. So this tree is probably linked over to trees as far as you can see. It's just that there are trees in between that are the bridges for the network. Forest ecosystems are really complex systems, just like the Earth is a complex system, the biosphere. And the way it works is that we have all these parts, and all these parts are working together, like the fungus is working together with the tree. It's a lot like how our brains work. In neural networks, our brains are comprised of neurons and axons, and these neurons are physically related, but they're also almost metaphysically related because they're sending messages back and forth and they're building upon each other. It works a lot like a forest ecosystem. So in this forest, the fungus and the tree working together allows lots of structure. That structure is expressed in the species diversity, or the structural diversity of the forest. And that diversity is really what gives the forest resilience. The resilience to withstand unexpected events like fire that might come through, or an insect, or a windstorm. Well, somebody's going to be left standing because there's a diversity there. Some of the forest practices that we have done pay no attention to the role of these mother trees, or that trees actually will move some of their legacy to the new generation. We didn't pay attention to it. Instead, what we did is we went and cut down those trees after they died so that we could make 2x4s out of them. And we didn't give them a chance to give back to the community, I don't think. So what those dying trees will do is that they will also move resources into living trees, to the young ones coming up before they completely collapse. So it's a transfer, like a passing of the law from one generation to the next, if we allow it to happen.
So we see, how many of you knew that trees communicated, and that trees, before they died, they would download all of their neurons and everything out to the younger trees? How many of you knew that? So many of us did we? We went, well, I didn't think of anything. Trees in my yard, I want it out of my yard, I'm gonna go cut it down. It's too big, it's too this, it's too that. And here's what I've said this to Andrew, and Andrew's laughed at me multiple times. I just want to say, who at first looked at a beautiful, magnificent tree and said, wow, we inhale what it exhales, and it inhales what we exhale. So without it, we won't breathe. I think I'm going to cut it down and delineate it down to toilet paper so I can wipe my rear end.
Could be using them for that.
Do you understand? Do you see what I'm saying? I go, wait a minute. It's something so important. And then when you start really looking at how the tree, as above, so below. So it's in its root systems, right? The Lord's Prayer says what? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. As it is above, so it is below. We've gotten so caught up in I'm right and you're wrong that we're missing the big picture. And the big picture is, you're my sister and you're my brother. And we are one. And I love you. I love you not because you do anything for me. I love you not because I expect something from you. I love you because you're my sister. And we truly are connected.
Oh, it's on real.
Oh, it's so when we look, the natives really had it right. Said we all breathe the same breath, don't we? We all breathe the same breath, whether we're man, woman, child, or beast, whether we're the winged nation, whether we're the creepy crawly, whether we're the swimming nation. They breathe oxygen out of the water. We're all of the same breath. And we were created all from the Creator. So why do we argue so much? If we all right now today put our focus on the tree of life and what that tree of life can bring to us, what can it open for us? If you want to get really, really, really specific, we will be diving into the Kabbalah, into the tree of life. But I want you to see that in every belief system, the tree of life has been spoken about. I also want to share one piece of information that might blow your mind, but I'm going to wait until the very end to do that. So don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. Please do not let me forget. Researchers discovered, and this was actually the University of Western Australia, that plants regularly react and emit sounds through a series of clicks produced by the roots. So, if an insect comes in, you know how certain insects will kill all the certain plants or all the certain trees? What they do is they send out the clicks. so that all the surrounding plants will know, and the plants will start to close up. So you ever been somewhere and like flowers are in bloom, but then you look and all of a sudden in one area, like all the flowers are pulled in? It's because they've clicked and they've said, hey, there's something coming that's hurting us. It's taking our life. Close up, close down. It's kind of like the trees that download the neurons and everything to the younger generation so that they get the wisdom from that mother tree before that mother tree passes. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
We as humans, I just love us sometimes. I just love us. I love it when somebody says, that animal doesn't feel pain. Really? I hit it, it squeals. I do believe it feels pain. I hit it, it squeals. It feels pain. Plants also feel pain. This has been proven in many different universities. So we have to be more conscientious about what we're doing. How are we treating our planet? What are we doing to our planet? If we're seeking for this tree of life that has the wisdom of all things, that connects all things, and that gives life so that you can live forever and ever and ever, we must first become conscious about what we do have that we can actually see with our physical eyes. How can we find if our consciousness is still so dense that we're believing only what we can see? Can't see electricity, but I double dog dare you to take a silver pin out of your hair and stick it in the outlet. It exists, doesn't it? You can't see air. Try going without it for a while. We get into our own mind and our ego takes place. And this is where, when we're seeking for the tree of life, we can't be seeking through an egoic place. When we're seeking for the Creator, we can't be seeking through an egoic place. A lot of what we've done as humans is we've put our own attributes onto God. We've tried to define this undefinable source, this boundless, limitless source. We've tried to define it. And then we've tried to say, okay, well, this source is this because this is what we're used to because we're human. So therefore, if we're this, then God has to be this, or the Creator has to be this, or Buddha, or Gaia, or Vishnu, or Allah, or whatever you call that source. That's our ego trying to place something that's limitless into a box. So as we're going and we're seeking, we need to also be seeking what kind of research is out there that we don't know about that has already validated things. Quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Validating energy, validating communication. These universities, what are they doing? They're validating that plants and trees communicate with each other, feel. A tree bleeds. It's called sap. It just because its blood is different than ours doesn't mean that it doesn't bleed. It just is different. Just like I am Native and you're African American. Take my skin away, take your skin away. What are we? We're human. We're all the same race. My son said this and it was so awesome. We were talking about racism. And I have a hard time. I don't understand the concept, and I haven't since I was a very young child. I haven't understood the concept of racism of any sort. So I talk to my children a lot about this because I want to make sure that my children raise up knowing that we're all the same. And my son, being the brainiac he is, said, "Mom, it's not racism." And I said, "What?" We were having dinner. "It's not racism." He said, "It's colorism." He said, "Because we're all the human race." And I thought, yes. Wait, that look on your face when your son schools you. What? But think about it, is it not? It's true. And I was very, very proud. I was like, he gets it. It's not racism. We're all the same race. Now, if you pit us against cows are a different race than we are. But we're all animals. What makes us so great and something else not so great? So as we're looking at these, this is another university that talked about what I said, when plants go into distress, when there's something attacking them, they send out a signal to let all the surrounding plants know so that those plants can do things to protect themselves. Now, we have this beautiful thing called the internet, don't we? Everybody's got something that looks like something like this. It's called a smartphone. So smart. Okay. What are we using this for?
Research.
Some of us. And how many of you have seen people walking down the street or sitting at the dinner table? Everybody's got their phone out.
Ignoring people. That's what
Are we becoming more connected or are we becoming less connected?
Less.
We're losing our connection. When I look in your eyes, you're beautiful. Thank you for being here today. You're beautiful. Thank you for sharing your energy with me today. With all of us. It's awesome. I'm connected to you. But if I'm here, how can I be here? It's very, very different, isn't it? But we can use this to spread a message throughout the entire world, can't we? And we can choose what that message is, can't we?
Yes.
So when we're talking about the tree of life, and the tree of life being filled with wisdom and connection, as above, so below. I'm just going to keep saying it. As above, so below. We can choose what we're posting on our Facebooks, on our Twitters, on our, there's other things, Tumblrs, Pinterest. I don't do a lot of that, can you tell? Like I don't do a lot of it, so I don't know.
Good.
But we get to
It
choose.
really makes a difference.
We get to choose what we put out there.
That's right.
What if we started reporting beautiful things like this? Where people went, wait a minute, I don't believe that, and then they went out to prove you wrong, and in the interim they proved you right. Or what if you went home today and you said something about the tree of life and said, wow, did you know the tree of life is referenced in every single belief system? And people go, wait a minute, I don't think so. And then it starts doing what? Instead of creating division, it creates unity. Where two or more are gathered, there I am, strong and prevalent. So, this is the University of Israel that did this. What are some of the health benefits of connecting to nature, to trees, to the earth, to the plants? What are some of those? Why are we doing this? Because I need you to open and to expand your consciousness to see what we have on our planet that we can see, because I'm getting ready to take you into places that you can't see. If I can't get you to connect with what you can see and understand what you can see, how can I expect you to connect to what you can't see? Do you see? So this is why this series has to be a series. So the health benefits are actually emerging, and it's called earthing, just to let you know. Taking your shoes off, walking in the soil. Now just make sure that that soil has not been sprayed with Roundup. Roundup does cause a myriad of different health issues, But I want you to look and to really draw your attention to this graph, these two graphs down here. So when we talk about connecting to the earth, we talk about sharing our electrons with the earth. Okay? Earth has a vibration, and we're a vibration. We're each energy, yes? Right? Earth puts off electrons. We absorb electrons. We're energy. We're connecting. So here, this one, how many of you know what cortisol is? Okay. Cortisol is when you're under stress, it pumps out into your system, and if you get a whole lot of it, you end up carrying things like truncal weight because your body needs to store it. Cortisol levels being high make your blood pressure go up, your heart rate go up. Lots of not good benefits when you have high cortisol levels. Okay? This graph right here is a profile before someone went out and walked, just with their shoes off, and all they did was they took their shoes off and they walked and connected to the earth. Look at how the cortisol levels dropped. That's amazing, isn't it? Yes.
I mean, I sit out on my deck and I just listen to the trees, especially when it's breezy. I mean, it's just so, and then the birds, and then I just, you know.
Do you know there's actually science now that proves that if you take a child out and among the trees with their shoes off 20 minutes a day, that it completely eradicates ADD? Oh. But what do? How many of you live in a subdivision? How many of you live in a subdivision? Okay, how many of you watch your neighbors pull out of their garage and pull into their garage? And you know they have kids because every now and then you see them. Every now and then. You get a glimpse of them in the car. But they pull into the garage, they pull out of the garage. They're not out playing. How many of you played when you were younger? How many of you climb trees? How many of you climb trees today? I do. I love them. I love them. I connect with them. Because why? We're sharing energy, right? If we're talking about the tree of life, we must first understand an actual tree. Why would Creator and all these belief systems talk about this symbology of the tree of life? Why would it be so great? Something so simple as that. Well, let's look here. So this is thermography. Thermography shows up when you have inflammation in your body, so it'll actually detect cancer 10 years before it can be detected by a mammogram. So this is all of the red and everything that is inflammation. Okay? After 30 minutes of earthing, look at what happened.
Thank you, Mother Earth.
Why do we call her our mother? Because she is. She's sustaining us. She's feeding us. Why did the Creator create this? Created this to sustain us so that we could live in harmony with this. In harmony. Not for us to take and poison. So this woman actually had 3 knee surgeries. She needed a walker and she walked with a limp. 30 minutes after earthing, this is how her legs changed. 12 weeks of daily earthing, she experienced a 90% reduction in pain and swelling, and she was no longer having to use a walker. Do you see? There's so much here, the consciousness that we need to unfold so that we can really begin to grasp what the Source is showing us and sharing with us. There are signs everywhere and symbols everywhere. There's little clues for us to awaken, to remember. Say, wait a minute. I was made for something very, very powerful. I do make a difference. And my thoughts can change this planet. And I and we can bring this planet back to peace and back to harmony. There's no reason for there to be hungry children on the street. And there's absolutely no reason for us to be at war with each other. We teach our children what? Don't hit. Don't hit. Don't hit. Don't we? How many of you have heard a parent say, don't hit? All of us. We've heard it. So what makes us think that when we get older, well, if you don't give me what I want, I'm just going to come bomb you? It doesn't make sense, right? But when you put your intention for peace, your intention for love, your intention, you're sharing electrons and neurons, you're sending out, guess what's happening? You're sending it out through the earth is sending it out through the wind, through the soil, through the water, and all of a sudden there's more of that. There's no Wi-Fi in the forest, but I can promise you one thing. You'll get more connected. And actually, I triple dog dare you to try to prove me wrong. Go every day and spend 20 to 30 minutes outside in the woods, proving me wrong. Just prove me wrong. So, I have to do this before we end.
She was supposed to blow our mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to end this within the next 4 to 5 minutes. Are you ready? This is my short tangent time. Please change just your own personal what you're doing to the earth. I know you want a clean house. I get it. Clorox is not the way. I know you want a beautiful yard. Roundup is not the way. You can do the same thing using other things. I promise you. You can do the same thing using other things. Recycle. Maybe don't grab a plastic water bottle every time you go to drink them. Save your water bottle and refill it. It's the small choices that you make that you can make a huge difference. When you see someone doing something like dumping oil down into a sewage, stop them. Help them to become more conscious. Don't do it in a, I'm going to judge you and I'm going to fight with you and I'm going to educate. Do you know what this is doing to our planet? When you get to vote on fracking that is poisoning all of the water, make an educated vote. And then educate your family. And then guess what? Your family will educate other people. When you see trees being arbitrarily bulldozed down for more and more and more subdivisions, when we have more houses sitting empty than we do each and every homeless person, say, wait a minute, do we really need another shopping mall? Do we really need that? Or do we need some more trees so that we can breathe? Everything is connected to Mother Earth, to the universe, to the all that is. The sun, the moon, the wind, the water, the plant nation, the tree nation, the mineral nation, the soil. It's all connected to me and to you. It's all connected. The more you can fully grasp that reality, the closer your connection to the divine and your higher self will be. The world is full of magic things patiently waiting for our senses to do what? Grow sharper. We need to open. This is the beginning of a series. I'm going to ask you between now and next Sunday, start looking at the trees. Start really watching. Look at them. Look at the plants. Watch them. Look at them. Become mindful of what is a tree doing what is it doing right now? Photosynthesis, sending out oxygen. What is it doing? What does it give us? Job says, but ask the animals and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky and they will tell you, or speak to the earth and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all of these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hands is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. We must remember, we must take care of ourselves and we must take care of our planet. The only way we're going to find truly the tree of life is if we start opening and become more aware. Isaiah goes on to, you will go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and hills will do what? And the trees will do what? So do you see how there are certain things that are very symbolic? The tree of life is a symbology of something. What is that? Is it an actual tree that we'll find? Or is it a tree that we may find inside? Edgar Casey says, by awakening the Native American teachings, and the only reason why he said this is because they were at a place where they lived harmoniously with all things. They didn't take more than what was given. They made sure they left things better than when they came. They made sure they honored all of life and they saw it as a circle of life. And that we have a web of life, which we're all connected. So Edgar Casey said, the earth is not something simply that you build upon and walk upon and drive upon and take for granted. It is a living entity. It has a consciousness. In the last 3 years, Earth's vibration has raised double. It has doubled its vibratory frequency. It has doubled its vibratory frequency. Why do you think we were all waking up? Why do you think suddenly we're all not able to do what we were doing 25 years ago when we weren't thinking about what we were doing? Look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better. Albert Einstein. Pretty smart man. Pretty smart man. Also went on to say that a human being is part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. I love that. Delusion. Right. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty.
Yeah.
And the last quote before I tell you the secret. Eckhart Tolle. How many of you know him? He'll help expand your consciousness. If you can get past his very monotone voice. Don't listen to a book on tape while you're driving. It's not good. It's true. If you listen to it, it's true. You are not in the universe. You are the universe. An intrinsic part of it. Ultimately, you are not a person, but a focal point where the universe is becoming conscious of itself.
Cool.
What an amazing miracle. So here's the secret, so that some of you are going to go right home and Google this before next week. So we know the pineal gland is referenced a lot to the seat of the soul that is connected directly to source, right? So your cerebellum is connected directly to your pineal gland. In the cerebellum, there is a part that looks exactly like the tree of life, and it's called the arbor vitae. And it is a Greek word that means tree of life. If the kingdom of God is within us, I will let you finish that thought. If the kingdom of God is within us, where might that tree of life be? And we will dive into that more next Sunday. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you so much for being present for this presentation today. Thank you for showing up to be spiritually fed in an inspired way. Thank you for showing up to have community. Thank you for showing up. You could have been anywhere, but you came here today. You had a divine appointment. You didn't happen here by accident. If you're new, I do want to let you know I would like to give you a personal gift and introduce myself. I will not keep you, I promise. I will just give you the gift. I will ask one thing, and that is, may I embrace you? May I hug you? And just share with you that I care. And invite you back. If this resonated with you, come back. If you think you know somebody else that would be inspired or might need this, or maybe is at a place in their life that they don't feel that great, bring them with you. All are welcome. No judgment, just love, because love heals all things. May you walk with peace, gently caressing Mother Earth with every footstep. May she rise up to meet each step you take. May your heart be filled with unconditional love that comes from the Creator and that flows to you every second of every moment of every day. May you share this love with all those around you. May you hold kindness like honey in your mouth, so that when you speak, sweetness flows, first for yourself and then to all others. Aho!
Aho!
Yo, bro, that's crazy. Yeah, that's better now than I was when I got Wow. This is my first. I went to the
No, I just have to take up the time.